Fantastic.
All right, and we're live. So we'll see if this picks up the wind and everything else. So
Yeah, I mean, you could do like
it's fine.
a minute, and
What was
then
it?
you could do like a minute and then
That's true.
check it. That's what I do with mine.
It's fine. Well, we won't be able to change much anyway, so it is what it is. So what was I calling it? Off topic.
Off topic.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers to off topic.
The first of many.
Yes.
So
The first of many, many off topics.
yeah, bullshitting.
Yeah, pretty much.
So all right, so you pulled Wolverine.
Yep. Pulled
Which is
Fierce
cool.
Fighter. So in showcase.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really great.
Which is
And
cool.
I'm one that's back and forth on card games because, they keep changing certain ones, and then especially with nostalgia and stuff like that, I have issues with.
Yeah.
And it's like when you change too much, it's like, I don't know if I like it. Well, of course, haven't bought a Magic pack in forever. Bought the Marvel superheroes and pulled Wolverine showcase, non-foil, and it's like, well, there we go. That's the universe trying to tell me something. Basically, shut the hell up and just play.
Well, I don't know. I bought all those, like, you get like a collector's pack, and I'll see people online, right? And they'll pull something, they'll be like, what are the odds of pulling the borderless foil and the regular? It's like some ultra rare card, and that happened to me, and it was like something that was crap. It's like, well, yeah, what are the odds?
What are the odds?
I would just pull something that was like Garbo. So.
What are the odds? You got doubles in the pack.
Yeah, yes. 2 of the Shiva. And I'm excited because it's like Final Fantasy. I'm like,
so it's not that bad.
This is going to be sick. Well, you look up the value of that stuff, and it's basically nothing. So.
See, and that's the thing that I do want to talk about sometimes is collectors wanting to know the value of their cards, but not as like a gambling aspect.
Sure.
And I think it's getting twisted.
Well, and so when I think of like the value, I think of it as like, did I pull something competitive enough that people want it? Not because I'm thinking about the resale, because of all the crap I've accumulated, I'm more likely to give it away than I am to sell it. You know what I mean? But
especially cards that are like nickels and pennies.
Well, anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. Maybe trying to sell that stuff would be a good idea. I don't know. Most of it gets stolen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, nowadays especially. Well, hey, at least it's not Pokemon. If it was Pokemon,
that's
then
true.
I would say you better put that stuff under lock and key. But with Magic, I think you're a little bit safer.
For sure.
For that.
For sure.
But it's just something I watch because I watch like people pull, and with my channel, I feel I want to go into the part where it's like, hey, I pulled this this Fluttershy or something like that. It's a high rarity. This is how much it's going for. But then I don't want to be twisted about it and be like, he's only in it for the money. And it's like, that's not true.
That's good.
I think that it's good for collectors to be okay with knowing the value of their collection as opposed to that lotto ticket, slot machine. I hit that combo. Oh man, that payout's great.
For sure.
Type of thing.
I mean, like, I've had friends that would they would go and they would buy Magic cards because you could buy Magic cards with a credit card. And you can't do that with a lotto ticket.
Or
and then they would go down to the, to Wild Things, rip, and then what can I trade this in for? And then try and get cash. And then it's like, okay, this is a terrible way to operate.
Oh, dude, I did the same thing when I was collecting Dragon Ball, which I wish I never stopped.
Sure.
What got me hooked was that I pulled secret rares.
Sure.
And those were like $150 a piece. That's with the 70%. And so I'd go into the stores with my sister and my nephew, and they're like, you're sure you're going to get any money for that? And I go, I know what it's worth. And I walked in there and I showed it to them, and then they're like, we'll give you $250 in store credit. And I go, I'll take it. And then their mouths dropped, and I go, because I had the collector app or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was registering everything, and it's like, I know what my stuff is worth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's
I mean,
worth
if it's
more
a
than
card,
like Pokemon cards actually now.
well, yeah, I mean, it depends.
Well, maybe not
on
most, but I've looked at a bunch of stuff that I would have expected to be pretty valuable as like first edition stuff, and it's like $40. I'm like,
Here's the thing: the whole
Really?
Pokemon market is so backwards, and that is because people believe that stuff that's being printed right now is more rare than the stuff that came out 20 years ago, 25 years ago,
yeah,
right? And
which
so
is
it's the
obviously
hype.
not the case. I
Well,
mean,
exactly. If you watch people go onto the live
I guess
streams,
it's the art though, kind of, right? I mean, the art's shinier than ever. All
they're,
the
they're
full
shiny.
arts and things, and different foils, and
Yeah, the different rarities. The art is way more fantastic. It's fantastic.
I feel like that's part of it, though. You know?
It is, but a lot of the hype. So the reason why I say this is because if you go onto like whatnot, and you watch people rip YouTube, TikTok, whatever. They act like that a $2 card that you just pulled and you spent $30 for,
Yeah,
to possibility of opening it, like that was a grail. They hype the heck out of it out, and then people are like, "Bang! I pulled a Bulbasaur," and it's like, okay, what's that, like a $15 card? You paid 30 something, but they don't see it that way. They see it as the thrill of the chase.
well, and
And
that's
they
really
caught
what you're
something.
paying for, and that's what I caught myself doing, where I was like not constantly, but like at least once or twice a week, I'd go down, and I'd either, and I still do this when we go and get together to play Magic, but go down to X, Y, or Z, and just get 3 packs, and then crack them, and I'm gonna go to something else after this, but
That's fine.
it's like the thrill of it. It's like, oh, I want something new. I want something new and exciting to happen. And so I'm kind of like manufacturing it with a purchase, which I always go back to being like a hunter-gatherer mentality we're trying to feed, which I won't go deep into right now. But, it's like there's something to that.
It's that dopamine.
Yeah, it's like, because biologically we were successful when we did do that. And so there's something in us that wants to do that. And we accomplish it. We're like, that gives us the satisfaction that drove us instinctually as a species at some point. Well, now we piggyback for consumer therapy with it.
Yeah,
So.
and it's not even, if you think about it, it's not even like for food or like to get a mate or something. It's just for the gambling thrill.
Well, yeah. Well, now it is.
Now,
right?
that's what I
and
mean
that's,
now.
That's kind of the way it is with so much stuff, where it's like everything's sort of piggybacked. And I don't remember for you I was talking to about this, but I was like, we're running on Windows, but underneath it all is our DOS operating system.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of like that. And so they're hijacking all these underlying functions, and I always compare it to gambling in the casino, where it's like, like Plinko machines.
Yep.
So.
Well, you'd be amazed, man. The more and more that you watch of like these rip and chips, the new little tricks that they get to try and be a little bit different, it's literally like you're swiping through a casino. You're swiping through an alley of slot machines, and you're just seeing which one catches your fancy that you're willing to part money with. You're
Kinda.
willing to spend.
Yeah, and
This guy, do I like this guy? Do I like this gal?
Well, and if you think about it too, it's like so much of what we buy is like a manufactured want, right? Like most things aren't necessities, and it's all about like trying to find a way to market something of interest to people. And so much of that's built on like nostalgia and stuff. I like to think back to the old Toys R Us commercials. I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to grow up. I always did want to be a Toys R Us kid.
I always want to be a Toys R Us kid, yep. Man, I wish Toys R Us was still around, but I saw somebody write on like one of the comments or whatever that they're glad Toys R Us is gone. It's like there's always going to be that person, but it's like that store you went for just toys. I went there for trading cards, even to get Digimon. The old school Digimon booster packs, I'd get it from there.
Lots of, it's like, oh, you get to pick out a Lego for a, something. Go look. Maybe not even get to pick one out, but just be mesmerized with the window shopping, probably trying to get ideas for a birthday or something as a child.
We went from a state I don't know why I want to say reality, but just like a presence of window shopping and you see the actual product to now window shopping on your phone and hoping you're seeing the actual product.
Well, that's Temu for you.
Although
I've seen it happen on Amazon and stuff. Somebody orders like a chair. They're like, I thought that was too good of a deal. It's like that big.
Well, there's that one of the YouTubers my daughter likes to watch. We watched her and she did comparisons of the same model kits from Temu, Amazon, and like AliExpress or something.
Okay.
And she found that which ones were the scams, and it was the Amazon one because it was literally they're buying from Temu, doubling the price on the Amazon and then selling it.
Yeah, I bet.
And it was just, or more than double.
For sure.
And she was like, this is crazy, but I mean, it doesn't, I mean, I even had that thought. It's like some of the Kaio stuff that I buy, it's like, why don't I just buy it, keep it sealed, and then sell it? And I just don't like that. I just want to collect and influence. And
for sure.
Share, you know?
Yeah.
So I have more fun with that.
Did I tell you what happened at GameStop? Because I had signed up for their discount where you get like $5 off a month, right?
Okay.
And it's like $30 or something to do it. And they're like, it pays for itself. So I was going in there and getting magic packs, which are like $5 anyway.
There you go, free pack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I was talking to somebody and I was like, really I should just sign up for a bunch of these accounts and just get a bunch of magic packs. And they're basically paying me. Mm-hmm. And after I had that thought, I tried to go in and they said that they couldn't just use my sign-in information to do it. I had to like log into the app, and I can't get the app to like associate with my account, and it's such a pain in the ass. And they've literally created this hurdle. And when I went in to try and sign in at the store, because at first I was like, well, I don't have the app. You guys got to do something for me. And they're like, we can't. I was like, well, I guess I do. And it was like, your account has suspicious activity, so they wouldn't let me log in. It was like...
You had to verify it?
I don't know. It wouldn't let me do it at the store. I left the store, and like an hour later, it would let me at least get that far. But it was some bullshit. They were just creating a roadblock to keep me from using my $5 to get my free magic pack.
Yeah. That's probably what it was, just to make it harder. They act like, no, we don't do that, but it's like...
That's exactly what it is.
They already took your $30, and now they don't
want you now they're going to change the rules.
They're going to change the rules.
Right
they're going to tweak something. Something's not working.
Right after I had signed up for it, I saw that they are considering revoking the ability to use it on trading card purchases, but they hadn't done that, as I know. But
well, people are probably using it to get discounts on their power-ups or whatever it is. The like you buy and you get a random slab.
Yeah.
And they send you like a cheap card in a slab. Here you go. It's a PSA 9.
Right.
And then you're just like, yay! It was $10 or $15 more than what I paid for, but check it out, guys.
Yeah.
It's like people nowadays, they just want to be... the experience that they want is actually to be taken advantage of, as opposed to finding a good deal.
Well, I
At least that's what it seems like sometimes.
I think that people are... It's like a bandwagoning, right? It's not that people are like, I wish somebody would screw me out of my money. It's like, everyone's kind of like late to the party, and the party's actually bullshit. Okay. You know what I mean? So people get all dressed up to go out there and go to the party. You know, they spend all the money on all the different things. And at the end of the day, which is so indicative of so many things, you know, it's like, it all goes back to that, like, marketing thing, right? It's like none of it's a necessity. All of it's like a driven want, like a created want. So, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling. I lost my train of thought there a little bit. But. All right, so...
It is merchandising.
So we're going to eventually segue into some random nonsense, but...
Let's do it.
Like, so, like, I want to talk, like, board games, or I guess miniature games, right?
Yeah.
But let's stick with the cards for just a second. So let's consider different mechanics from different, like, card systems that we've seen. Like, so you jump systems a lot. Yep. What have you seen that you like and that you don't like from, like, new systems, old systems, whatever? You know, I always talk about what was that? What's that anime game we were playing? Not Battle Saga.
Well, we were playing.
What was it?
Universes.
No. What was it? That you and Alex were more into.
Well, there was Battle Spirit Saga.
Battle Spirit Saga.
Yep.
And I don't know. There's something I like about Magic's like randomization of the lands, and I know a lot of systems don't do that. That's something I kind of like and don't like. But
yeah.
what are some good things you've seen from, I don't know, whatever jumps out at you?
Well, so to talk about the Battle Spirit Saga,
sure,
I liked it because the cores is what they called them. You not only use them to like summon your monsters or use your spells, whatever, but you also use them to level them up, and you can manipulate the cores any which way that you see fit on your turn.
Yeah.
And there was always one core that was red, and I forgot what they called it. But basically, if you had cards, they would have an ability that triggers off of that red soul core, basically.
Yeah.
And if they had it, then they do a special ability. But until then, you can like level up your guy to level 2. He has 3,000 attack power. You play somebody else, let's say, but you need a couple cores from this one to make this do what you want to do. So then you can, on your main phase, take it, go here, so then you can picture it like an anime. The power goes down like in Yu-Gi-Oh, and then this one goes up.
Right.
And then their abilities
like a spaceship
switch.
Reroute the energy to the shields.
Exactly, you're rerouting energy.
Yeah.
But your guys will get different abilities. Like this guy, let's say, could have been unblockable. Well, now you lowered his level. Now he's blockable. But then this guy now can like do indirect damage on top of his normal damage.
Yeah.
So there is like a mechanic that all other trading card games that I've seen have never touched on, and I loved it. It's just Bandai screwed it up. I always hated the idea of Dragon
What do you
Ball.
think they screwed up? Like just because they kept releasing new like things that would interfere with it, or just they didn't have good support?
It was a little bit of everything. They were throwing the pre-release kits to everybody. Just any influencer. It's kind of like what Kaio is doing right now, I feel like, but Bandai was doing it to like Game Theory.
You're gonna be tagged in this. Don't say that.
Yeah. Well, it's like Game
But
Theory.
I can understand any market becoming oversaturated potentially. Sure.
Well, no, they've got an idea about it. There's okay.
Well, stick with Battle Saga.
Let me distinguish it.
Sorry, I wasn't.
So no, you're fine. So I'm not worried about it. So they're throwing it out to people that will sell, will drive.
Cheers, by the way.
Oh, cheers. Kaio is sending their cards out to people that will sell and get exposure.
Okay.
What Bandai did was that they threw it at anyone.
Sure.
And I mean, literally like Game Theory.
Yeah.
They don't do cards.
Right.
And even when they're opening it, they're like, we don't even know what we're doing. Is this good? Oh, look, we got a mat. I don't know what we do with it. I'm not even kidding. This is what they did. So that's what I wanted to distinguish. There's similarities, but Kaio's doing it better.
For sure.
Now, Bandai did that, and the first set that they released only supported 3 of the 5 colors. So 2 colors on the next sets we're going to have to play catch up, which means that those colors are going to be more prominent in those sets, which means you're not going to get support for the other colors.
Got it.
So the meta was that I wanted to play purple because those are more like your demons and evil people.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The side that won, I think that was the meta, was the white colored cards, the white crystals. Blue had like hand manipulation, deck manipulation. Well, that didn't come out until set 2.
Right.
So it's like if you knew what you wanted to play, you had a way, and it was just literally they screwed it up. And what's sad is that they screwed up the first release of Battle Spirit Saga, which was just Battle Spirits.
Yeah.
Because they tried to release it years before and they screwed it up. And when they screwed it up again, and they're like... Anyways, so the core system, I loved it.
Yeah. Sorry, you started to talk about another game too, and I cut you off. I don't remember what it was.
No, you're fine. I was talking about... it's another Bandai game.
Yeah.
I always hated the idea of using cards from your hand as mana. Setting them down from your hand as mana.
Isn't that what we do in universes?
That is what you do in universes.
Okay, go on.
I'm talking about when I first started with Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah.
It was foreign to me. So
Yeah.
if you don't like giving up cards from your hand, then generally Bandai games you're not going to really want to play, maybe, or at least just be aware of it.
That's why I wore my Nintendo Power Glove. You can't take any cards.
And all of a sudden,
And my Yu-Gi-Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh disc comes out. Yu-Gi-Oh's different. There's just like a level and limited like summonings unless you special summon.
I was about to say, yeah, I remember hearing that until I started playing Master Duel.
Yeah, you start playing Master Duel.
Pendulum Dragon Summon.
I actually hate the idea of being mana drained or mana screwed. So Magic,
it does
I don't
suck.
like that.
It
I don't
does
like that.
suck, but I like when it works for me.
Exactly.
I had to be completely honest with it. That's what it is, right?
You just like it when it works for you, and then when it doesn't, you hate it.
And the truth is, I don't. In most game systems, like look at 40K and playing Tau. It's like you're playing Chaos and Love Orcs, and that's like random. You like things that are unpredictable.
I should have been an orc
I
player.
like playing. Well, Chaos does some of that too, but
yeah,
I like playing something that has more of like an order and control to it. Not that I like playing Blue and Magic necessarily in like a counter kind of way or something, but I want to be able to feel like what I'm going to do is going to pan out the way I'm like aiming for, right? So I'm not just throwing darts at a board.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ironic that I don't like some of those other systems, and I do like, you know, the land variation of Magic, or like the randomization in bolt action, right?
Yeah.
Which Alex hates for comparable reasons, I'm sure, right? Where he doesn't like the randomization out of the bag. He
doesn't like the random. He wants to predict.
Right, exactly. I don't want to feel like, you know, on the next phase, maybe it'll be your go, maybe it'll be my go. There's no way to know what to account for, what's going to happen next. I think that gives flavor to the system in some ways, but it's kind of a trade-off, I guess.
It is. And actually, I was thinking about, while I'm listening, I was thinking about Dragon Ball and why I'm saying that. I do remember that when I got into it, Dragon Ball was first starting out, and now I think that there's, people might comment this already, but there's cards that allow you to bounce back cards from your energy zone back to your hand, so you're not truly losing the card.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And I think with Universes, I remember being a skill check. So you'd play a card and then you reveal from the top of your deck. That's what it was, and I know that you liked it too. At least it sounded like you did. I loved it.
I thought it was an interesting system. I felt like it gave a lot of interesting choices, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the other thing too, where maybe with some of those games it's like, well, obviously the only thing I can really do is this and this, but with something like that, it's like, okay, if I strike low, I may not be able to block low or high next turn if I play this card, so maybe I shouldn't play this to make sure that I hold it back as a defensive card.
Yeah, because you might...
Because if I just go all out,
maybe you know my
I'm
deck,
going to be more vulnerable. Well,
yeah.
You're bound to be able... I mean, in Universes, striking like low, medium, high, right? Those were like the variations. And if you were off, like if you didn't have something that was within a pip of that, I mean, you're just going to have to tank damage.
Yeah, it's like I'm hitting high. You don't have a high to block it. Well, you're taking full unless you use a mid.
Right. And it gave a layer of strategy to it, I guess, is what I liked.
It did. And then some of the cards that you would reveal would be cards that go into your zone that you can use to like give yourself bonuses.
Okay.
I think those were foundation cards is what they were called.
Yeah.
Those were the gray ones. And then they had special abilities. Like there was so much to it.
Right, you'd like exhaust them or something. And
yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know. Oh, people did just go that way.
Yeah, there was people that left.
I thought you were looking for us.
Nope. Do you guys need anything?
No.
Okay.
We're just doing a thing.
People left with the baby and they forgot their food.
Yeah. No, you're good. I appreciate you, though.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, they...
I'm sure your food will be out in a minute.
Oh, no worries.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
We're just doing our thing.
So, but... I don't know. So I gave a couple. What about you? What game have you played or have you seen that you liked certain fundamentals or mechanics, and some that you didn't like?
That's a good question.
So some that you like,
So
and some that you didn't like.
there's two things that come to mind initially that I like. The first of which, again, going back to bolt action, I really like the randomization of bolt action. It's a downside because it slows the game down, right? It's a you go, I go system. It's not like I take a whole turn, which is faster and easier to plan for, and then you take your turn, which is faster and easier to plan for. But it gives sort of a temporal element to it.
Yeah.
Time. He said the word. All right. The other thing I think that stands out.
You'll find out soon.
And this isn't like a card game. I'm more like miniature game focused. You're kind of the jack of all trades when it comes to like card games.
Resin crack, cardboard crack.
Exactly. And it really comes down to like Malifaux, right? I really like the way, and this is why I wanted to try and institute something like this in Time Wars, which later became the concept for Tempus Bellum. Anyways,
Bum, bum, bum.
the idea that they had like this deck of cards. You had 52 cards. They had, things that they equaled within the game.
Yep.
And so it was twofold. It's like, A, you have something that pretty much everybody has, right? That you can then pull and utilize as a resource for the game. Something we're all familiar with, which I think is really cool.
Yep.
The second aspect of it is, I don't know, I think there's a flavor to be had there with the different suits, which, I don't know, it always stood out to me where you could have sort of almost like Chaos, right? Where you've got Khorne, you've got Tzeentch, you've got Nurgle, you've got Slaanesh, or whatever it is, right? Oh, yeah, sorry. Appreciate you. Cool. Hey, thanks.
Yes, can I get you guys plates, napkins?
No, I'm good.
You guys are doing great?
Yeah,
Sweet.
yep, thanks
Let
so.
me know if you need anything.
Yeah. I know you already ate, but you're more than welcome to a piece or something. If you
I
want.
appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, I ate without even thinking.
Yeah, no,
Made-
it's good. It's better.
Made my daughter some dinner, and then I was like, well, I'm going to eat too. If you're not going to want French bread pizza, I'm going to eat it.
Right.
And 1 became 2, and then 2 became macaroni salad, and then that became, I'm going to throw up. Just kidding. But it became, I'm pretty much a sloth now. Too many carbs. But, no, I like the random turn taking. I like the dice bag. Malifaux, I remember that's what drew me, was the deck of cards, because your guys would have, this is what you need. But if you flip, like, let's say, the suit of crows, then you gain, like, piercing or bleed or something. So it added a little bit extra chaos to the game. And not only that, the lore of Malifaux was cool. They were really cool.
It was cool. I liked the art style. I don't know. The lore, I couldn't tell you that much about. I can tell you a little bit about the different things I was kind of playing, but the art style was sick.
I think what actually drew me to it is because I had previous experience with HeroClix, and it reminded me of HeroClix. And HeroClix is another fantastic miniature game. I just like...
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. It's great. It sucks, but it's great.
Well, tell us how you really feel.
I haven't gotten to play it much, but
I was going to say, how come we never play it then, dear?
I want to play it.
Oh, here, I got to move this back. Right there. Yeah.
I want to play HeroClix. That would be fun. I've got a bunch. There's so many games I want to play. HeroClix, X-Wing. X-Wing was great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Warhammer
What's going on with
40K?
X-Wing anymore? Do you know?
I don't think they're supported anymore. Legions got picked back up,
Okay.
which is cool.
Were those all Fantasy Flight? I don't remember.
Yeah. Which is why the Star Wars card game, I didn't want to go deep into it, but I did pick up that Darth Maul deck, and that's
well,
a
now
card
that you've
game.
bought cards for it, they can kill it. So
That's right. I got Darth Maul, that's all I care about. I got Qui-Gon, I get to cut that card in half. I know people are going to be like, no, that's what you do with the Darth Maul. I'm not going to desecrate Darth Maul, damn it.
don't cut him in half.
but yeah, no. Honestly, that's a game right there that I want to play a game or two of here soon. Is Star Wars. I love the board game feel, and I love the trading card game feel, and I love the commander inspiration, because you got the base, and then you got your general or whatever, your leader, which is your commander, and then you've got ground forces and space.
It is a really cool system.
And it's a you go, I go.
What was that, like Excalibur or some shit? There was a Magic game where it was like Commander, but you had like a non-legendary creature and then a legendary artifact.
Yeah, you're talking. I think that's what it was. It was Excalibur for Magic.
Something like that. It was something King Arthur.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, you know, where you can like, or kind of like the partner thing in Magic, where, you know, you have like one card and then you have a secondary card you pair with it. That just opens up a lot of like possibilities for how you can customize things, and that's cool.
My thing, and this is where Magic, I will consider, is the top dog of trading card games. But the problem is that they do a little bit of everything now, that it doesn't feel fully done. Like,
Okay.
let's take for the aspect Web Slinger.
Yeah.
It's only going to be in the Spider-Man set, pretty much, right? So let's say you want to build a web slinging deck. That's your only support, right? That's something that they're going to abandon. I know Infinity was an unset, but they had the attractions.
Well, yeah.
That was something funny that they were doing. But I mean, there's like stuff that they could do that build off of that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's viewers that can mention certain types of abilities that aren't being supported anymore, basically within the meta.
I like how you keep referring to viewers. There aren't any, but there will be maybe one day.
You are there, and I know. Okay.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
But yeah.
But joking aside,
No joking aside.
never. I feel like that there is a little bit, like they touch on everything, but they don't fully dive in, which is fine. At least they're giving a little bit of love to everything. You got your space, we got space. We got Edge of Eternities. You want some anime? Well, we got Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, that's true.
You want your sci-fi? Well, they're coming out with Star Trek. You want your superheroes? They got Marvel.
Yeah.
So they're just going to have a little bit of everything.
A little spicy.
Oh, yeah, it looks like that's got some, like, what, jalapenos or
Yeah, they
pepperoncinis?
put the cherry peppers on it, which I wanted because I like a little kick.
Well, especially probably a little bit of bubbly will, I don't know, at least for me, it intensifies the spice.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But
But yeah. I don't know. It's just interesting. It's interesting to see the way things keep shaping out. And, you know, different systems. So much of that shit's so convoluted, though. I mean, to your point, where it's like half-assed, kind of half-fleshed out things. I always see connive. I'm like, you know, you referenced it on
One
some
of the
villain
cards.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of know now. It's like you reveal or discard something, or I don't know. You get to draw a card or put a 1/1 on some shit.
yeah. I feel...
Excuse me. But it's like there's so many different terms that are so convoluted that it's like, okay, at a certain point, I just don't even know what the hell's going on.
I guess that's where it gets hard for me. It's because, yeah, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
And it's, at least when you're playing, like, of course, you're playing Gundam, well, you know you're playing mechs. When you're playing Sorcery, you know you're playing an old school Magic the Gathering setting where it's like a grim fantasy tale. Flesh and Blood, you know, it's about just heroes beating the crap out of each other. Steampunky. But I feel like right now, especially with Magic's dynamic, is that they're getting more positive reaction from the Universes Beyond sets that they're just trying to make. They're trying to make the buyers happy. So if they're going to come out with a Marvel, they're going to come out with flavor and abilities that'll match the characters. But they're going to try and tie it as best as they can to the game.
Sure.
But then again, that's where it kind of feels like they're half in, half out.
Yeah, I get that. But, part of that is, too, it is the way I look at it. Like, let's say they go all in on something. Like, go deep into the mechanics. It's twofold. One, if you let's say they invent, like, the coolest mechanic ever, and they put it under the Marvel set.
Yeah.
It'd be very valuable. Like you said, they may not be able to continue to replicate that in every set. They certainly won't. Right? Mm-hmm. They won't put in whatever the new special ability is into every new thing. And that's kind of what they've run into, right? Where they've, remember when, like, First Strike came out and then Double Strike, and then, you have all these different abilities that stack on each other that become so strong. And if you overdo it in one of these Universe Beyond sets, people are going to get upset in some ways because they're like, oh, you're putting all the powerful stuff in this? Why? Because you had to pay more for the IP? You had to pay more for the intellectual property, so you have to make sure you sell more? Well, we see a little bit of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, at the same time, if they put all this money into it, and this is what happened with Spider-Man to a certain degree, right? They put all this money into something, and they didn't properly flesh it out. You had characters that were like, civilian human. It's like, what is this? This isn't a Spider-Man character. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And it's funny because people will be like, I love the hot dog cart. It's like, okay, yeah, the hot dog cart's a perfectly fine 3-cost mana artifact.
Probably gets food, right?
Mana rock. Yeah, I think you can, like, sack it for mana and to draw a card or something, or make a food token, like you said. Maybe it makes a food token when it comes in.
Something it does, yeah.
I remember seeing people that were like, there should have been a relish and mustard upgrade for it, like as a kicker.
Got a glizzy cart.
But a lot of that stuff was like, they had like some guy that was sort of like a sidekick to him. They're like, well, why wasn't this the dude from the movie, right? Like his sidekick from the movie. Kind of looks like him. Why didn't they name it that? Well, probably because they would have had to pay that guy. But,
yeah,
I mean, it just kind of feels like they fell short on it. I wanted to do a web slinger deck.
I did too. I wanted to make a Spider-Man deck, and I was pricing it out on TCG Player.
Yeah.
But then I sat there and I go, it's going to be a deck that's not going to be good enough.
And that's the thing. The mechanics aren't that good.
Fun.
I was like, okay, what could I do with that? Because what I wanted was to play it with Venom, where I'm web slinging things in for cheap. But there's really nothing that, like, you're paying the web sling cost and getting more out of it.
Exactly. That's
right?
what I felt like when I'm looking at the cards. It's like there's no...
So I guess it's a way to be like, oh, I save this guy in a pinch. Like, oh, I play this reactively, and I'm going to put it back in my hand, and you're trying to target it. Now you can't, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to play at an instant speed. But let's say that was like 100 times better than ninjutsu, right? Because it kind of felt like ninjutsu, and then they did sneak for Ninja Turtles.
I was going to say Ninja Turtles, yeah.
Kind of leaning into some of that stuff. If you make it super powerful, it gets locked to the set, and it becomes a problem. And they have to create a balance, and it's like you look at it, it's like the pizza, right? You had 5 slices. You had the different colors of magic.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, oh, we want to add a little more, right? And maybe add the instants and stuff. Oh, we want to add a little more. Or you got Planeswalker. You got, that's stuffed crust, right?
Yeah.
But now we're to the point where it's like the pizza has another pizza growing out of it. It's like there's just too much pizza.
It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is over there and it's mutating. There's the ooze coming out of it.
Right. I just want a well-crafted pizza. I don't need it to have, candles and sparklers coming off of it. I just want it to be good, right? I don't need to be flashy, right?
Well, that's what Lorwyn, right? Lorwyn.
Not that this isn't kind of a flashy pizza, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you know, like Lorwyn Eclipse. That's what a lot of people said. Hey, this is in universe. This is a fantastic set. I didn't buy any of it, but that's because I wasn't into buying packs at the time. But Lorwyn Eclipse was the in universe that was like that answer. That's your well crafted pizza, basically.
You want one of these? Feel free.
Oh, okay. You sure?
Sure.
Here, I'll take this one in. I'm not a very good dark.
Yeah, I'm not much of a stout guy either, but that's okay.
Thank you.
I did want to try it, so yeah, I don't need all this, so please.
But I think it's got to be, they got to feed the beast, right? They've got to get money flowing, and Universes Beyond is what sells. So
It
it does
catches
kind of
my
suck.
interest.
It does me too. It does me as well. Sneak for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I wish they just had it as ninjutsu.
A lot of people
It
said
would
that,
get a
too.
lot more support. That set right now, that set's being slept on. It's like $110 for a play booster box of it.
Oh yeah.
But
I wonder if the commander deck's gone down. It was like $70 when it dropped, and I thought,
I got kind of excited when I walked into the store, and I thought they might have had the commander and I would have gotten it.
they did.
No, they didn't.
It was on the back shelf.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
I was looking at the glass case.
Yeah, she pointed it out to me when I went in there.
Oh, she didn't point out
It
to
was
me.
$70.
Oh, geez, yeah, no. I don't think I would have.
I don't even know which one they had actually, because they've got 4 of them, right?
I don't know. I was wanting the turtles, like you play all 4.
Oh, the turtles. Oh, I thought you meant the Marvel one.
No, not the Marvel.
Oh
No.
yeah. Duh.
I don't think Turtles has a commander deck, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, they do? Okay, so that's what
That's a 5-color.
I was looking for. It's like all 4 of the Turtles, basically, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been fun. I mean, for Universes, I bought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle starter deck just so I have it. So I've got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle deck.
You sure you don't want a slice of this?
I'm fine.
All right, because if there will ever be viewers, they're going to say, "Look at this fat ass eating all the pizza in front of his friend."
Yeah, the guy that's obviously slimmer than the one not eating.
No.
He's starving me, everybody. He's starving
Look at
me.
the camera. We look identical.
Do we?
I mean, pretty much.
Oh, I guess. Well, if you guys could see the stomachs, it's way different.
Well, they can't. Except when I stir up.
I got the Fab Flab Dad bod.
Oh, look at that windmill just fucking going, dude. Hopefully,
That's what's squeaking over there.
yeah.
I thought it was a freaking bird.
Right? And
God,
the bird's just like,
That bird is just going nuts.
yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah. But either way, Magic is, I mean, just trying to remember topic. Magic is
Yeah, we're talking about
still doing
sneak and
great.
stuff.
Sneak and ninjutsu and oh, that's what I was going to say. So you know what a lot of trading card games do, and this is what like the Asian trading card games
I don't know.
do.
What do they do?
They list the tribes that they support on the booster boxes, like Cardfight Vanguard. Yu-Gi-Oh will disclose, I think,
Really?
what factions are being supported. That way you don't feel like you're wasting your money if you're playing support. If like you're wanting to play X Sabers, let's say, if on the box doesn't say anything about X Sabers, well then you're most likely not going to get X Sabers, so then don't waste your money. It'll say like, tunes or whatever on there. It's something to look at. That's why like I look at those and I'm like, well, that's more player friendly. That's more buyer friendly when it just comes out and says that. Obviously, people can say, well, yeah, if you buy in Universes Beyond, you're buying Spider-Man. You're getting Spider-Man. Yeah, but what mechanics are being supported? Spider-Man's a bad one to bring up because it's web slinging, obviously, but it's like, where's web slinging supported anywhere else in the game? Nowhere.
Yeah.
So is that then when you sit there and go, well, if you want to do CEDH, don't buy sealed Spider-Man because you're not going to get your bang for your buck? And I think people could agree with that. They'll just say buy some singles. that you need for your deck, and that goes with any set really. But like Lorwyn Eclipse, going back to that, that's worth buying sealed because there's so many cards in there that are just great to have.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like no matter what I buy, I kind of don't. I don't really get everything out of it I would want, and I've just kind of, you got to accept that, and that goes back to like the value thing, where it's like, okay, if I buy a card, and I can give you some great examples of this, and two really good examples of this. Number one is the fact that I bought some of those. What's the set? Not Lorwyn. That's the in-universe set that came out.
Duskmourn?
No.
There's what? Thunder Junction,
No.
Aether Drift,
Strixhaven. That's it.
Oh.
Strixhaven.
Strixhaven. All the one I did.
No. It came to me though as you were going through them. It came. I was like spellbooks. What is it? Strix.
No, you know what? Strixhaven's not in. No, keep going.
No, it's Strixhaven. And, I bought the booster packs, and I was like, okay, I got one good card of it. It was that blue-red dragon, I don't even know the name of it, that interact with spells and sorceries. And I thought, okay, well, at least this is good. I was like, I'm gonna put this in this Aragorn deck I want to build.
Okay, yeah.
It was $10 at the time. I was like, well, I spent $15 on the packs. Maybe it was like $18 or something. I don't remember what it was.
It got over half of it back if you look at it that way.
Right. And actually, I probably spent $5 and used a discount at Rippin' Card Tricks and fucking, came out ahead on that, right?
Yeah.
Got like 10% off or 5% off. And so it's like not only did I look at the card later and it went from $10 to $5.
Okay.
But the reason I was looking for it was because I'd lost the damn thing. I bought these cards. I had one good card out of it. I don't know what I did with those 3 packs of cards. They're somewhere. And I've looked, and I'm like, well, I don't know where the fuck I put them. And so I was going to buy that card again, and it got cheaper. And in a way, I was glad, because it got cheaper. And if I wanted to replace it, I could do it. And I felt like I lost less. I was like, well, shit, I could buy this card for $5. The card I lost was $5. In my head, it was worth $10. I'm breaking even. It's like crazy math.
Crazy math.
That's dude math right there.
Yeah.
And it's like gamer math.
Yeah.
But I didn't buy it, and it's just weird how that is. That happened with that Ugin card I got that was like a borderless. I was like, this is so cool, and it was worth like, I don't remember how much it was worth, like $50 or $100. And when I looked at it again, it was worth like $30, and it was, which is the same. It was like the borderless foil's worth the same price as the non-borderless foil.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's not how the card looks even. It's just how playable is it. It's $30 playable. Like that's what it is. It doesn't matter.
Playable.
Doesn't matter how shiny it is. And I can't figure out how to make it work. I bought that fucking Eldrazi deck for it. So I was like, okay, it lets me pull a bunch of colorless shit and put it into play. All my Eldrazi stuff's colorless.
Yeah.
Every time I play the Eldrazi deck, everyone's like, he's playing Eldrazi, get him! And I've never drawn that Ugin, so it's like, this sucks. Not because I'm like not having fun. It's just like, what am I even trying to do here? And that's why you got to play for fun. You just got to have fun with shit.
That's where. That's when you sit there and go, you know what? This is what I think we should do. This is a great format. You just turn your commander backwards, and you're not telling your opponent who you're playing.
That works real good until I'm playing Venom. He transforms.
Oh, well,
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, you put a card in front of it then.
No, for sure.
But basically, play Mystery Commander. That way you won't be targeted until you cast your commander. That way it's like, you could play Deadpool. We don't know you're playing Deadpool until you start slapping down colors, and we're like, wait, that's Deadpool's colors, aren't they?
Jordan would be like, that's public information.
Yeah. That's, well,
Which it is.
That's fun.
I mean, I would hold myself to that.
Yeah,
in my head, I'm like, the person who's best at holding us to the rules would not let us do that.
Yeah, it's just something fun. It is something we've tried stupid stuff before. I think it's worth saying, hey, let's play a mystery commander deck. Now of course is going to be like, well then I don't want to play, because we always sit there and go, well what power level are you? I just want to play something fun. Well, I want to play my best. Well, how about this? Why don't you just pick? We don't know what you got. Just play.
Right?
Right? And it's like that
Right.
way we're not sitting there
It
having
would
to
be cool if we were like, okay, everyone pick a deck instead of, well, what are you gonna play? I want to like match that, and it's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like I just want to have fun with my deck. It's like if somebody wants to play Sisse, or if somebody wants to play Aang or whatever, it's
Sure.
like fine, go ahead and play Aang. Go ahead and play Sisse. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm gonna play this. And of course they'll probably counter and say, well, if I do this, then don't get mad. It's like that's fine.
Well, I just want
That's
variety.
just something that I've got to deal with.
Right.
But like if you want to play,
Look
like I
how
said-
close that was to landing in the pizza. It's a little bug.
yeah. Our special guest.
Yeah, special guest star.
Yeah. Off with
There
ye.
you go, dude.
Yep, he crushed it. He killed it.
I didn't
I'm just,
kill it.
I'm just kidding. He didn't.
I ate it. Oh,
The pizza wasn't enough.
protein.
Protein.
Extra protein.
Um.
So,
Yeah, I know It's
yeah, we're just kind of ranting. It's fine. This is what it's all about. You know,
just have fun with it. I mean, like,
yeah. Yeah, this is what...
I think that would be pretty fun instead of just going, "What do you want me to play?" No, I'm not. I'm not here to tell you what to play. That's like when one of our players in our group says that. What do you want me to play today?
Right.
And it's like I mean, I'll give you an answer, but I want you to play what you want to play. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, then, I mean, I would roll a dice.
Well, it feels like I'm talking to Goes of the Destroyer. He's like, choose the form of your destructor. I'm like, no. I'm going to clear my mind. They're like, the choice has been chosen. You know, and I'm just waiting for the day they got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Commander. It's a fucking a full Ghostbusters set. And they did a secret layer of it, but it was kind of lame. I don't remember what was in it, but there wasn't anything cool. It wasn't like you got the different Ghostbusters. It's like, here's Slimer. Like, here's a spell. Here's a sorcery with Slimer on it. It's like, no, give us Slimer as a creature.
Yeah.
Give me Vinkman.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that was probably back when they were doing secret layers just for the art and not for, like, hell, we could loop this into Commander.
Well,
Or
maybe,
whatever.
probably somewhere in between. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the only thing I
think
could bring
any
up,
of those universes. Well, okay, I see what you're saying. Where it's like,
I'm bringing up Deadpool
They're
because that
not-
was a unique.
dude, all right, two things.
No
One,
hate on Deadpool. I'm just saying.
no, I'm not saying that. One is that when I got Deadpool, it's funny because I went into Rippin' Card Tricks and it was like, it was sitting on the shelf and I'm like, what's that? And I really wanted the other Marvel ones that were from like prior, and because I didn't understand when, but the timing of it was, I was like, Deadpool came out, that means all the Marvel stuff just came out, right? And it hadn't. There was like the Wolverine set and Storm and all this, Iron Man, Captain America prior to that. And it was just sitting there for like retail, and so I swooped on it, and you know, you think of like Deadpool as being this like really good card, but it was really accessible for a long time. You could get that secret layer for a fucking grip, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was around for a minute. And you look at so many of these other ones where it's like, oh, there's that fucking Goblin deck that came out. It was like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
has a special art roaming throne on it, which was a sick card, and I know that was something a lot of us would have wanted, but it's like, you know, you have this drive to impose a want to buy it by plugging in one or two cards that are really good, that like justifies the value of this thing.
Comes with a roaming throne, but an arcane signet.
Right. And well, yeah, and there's so many sets that are just like, here's a Soul Ring, here's
a
an
Soul Ring,
Arcane
I was gonna
Signet,
say
here's an
Soul-
Arcane Signet, and people complain about that, and I totally get it. And it's like, where's the balance of, okay, we want something that matches the value of our purchase, that isn't so overpowered and underproduced that it doubles in price immediately because it sells out, and then you can't get it, and then the scalpers are doing it. So you've got this balance of something that's equitable for its value, something that's so good that you can't even get it, or something that's so shit nobody wants it, right?
Right. And that's why, and that's the stuff, that's kind of the reason why I gravitate towards trying a bunch of other card games, is because of that, the scalpers.
Yeah, I get that.
That's the reason why. And also just because I like to try new things. I'm very adventurous.
Yeah.
In the trading card game aspect. Don't flag it.
I get it.
But, I mean, if I didn't do what I did, I wouldn't have found the Kaio cards, which I love. I cherish those cards. I love them.
That's true.
So, something good came out of it. It took like a year or two of experimenting with other cards and annoying people, like saying, hey, try this out, and then I find something that works.
Yeah, I do not get hooked the way you do.
Nobody does.
You don't really even get hooked. You just like to taste test. You know? And that brings us to an example. And that's why we have the sampler, and that's why he is our sampler. Even though I did most of the sampling. But, yeah.
I'm the trading card game
when
sampler.
it comes to the food and the beer, I'm going to be the sampler. But when it comes to card games, you can sample.
Yeah, I've collected. Well, I mean, if you go to, I went to Walmart and I picked up Card Fight Vanguard booster packs for $1. Just because they found
and then he resold them on Amazon for $15.
$15. Can you believe it? No. I opened it up and I did get this necromancer guy that's in a special art. It's like Ice Prison. So whoever's probably played it knows Ice Prison Necromancer something. Anyways, it's a sick looking card.
And you glued them to your body. Tell us how that went.
I needed pasties, and the store was out.
That's what I was always impressed by you the most, is your ability to improvise.
Recycle, reduce, reuse.
It's really about making use of the tools you have. And that's why with Tempus Bellum, the goal is, no matter what you have, whether it's a deck of cards, some poker chips, your pasties, you just
army man.
You toss them down. I can't tell you how many times we've played games of Warhammer 40K proxied, right? And I love that video that's like, oh, these are my 10 guys. It's like, okay, it's like, oh, these, I'm going to use these like My Little Pony.
I never
things.
have done that.
My Little Pony. These are going to be my bikes. Okay. And then this bag of Skittles is going to be something. And there's an old video like that I just love. That's hilarious. And I wish I could replicate it. And maybe we'll try.
What is it that somebody used shoe boxes as land raiders?
No. Here, all right. First of all,
did the measurements.
First of all, and it was like the five types of war gamers or whatever. But so no, what happened was with that is we were playing a huge Armageddon game. The first Armageddon game I ever participated.
I've never played one.
Were you not in it?
I was.
I don't remember.
No.
I think it was Alex and Ray. So it was Orcs and Imperial Guardsmen versus my Tau, and I was so happy, because I had I had accumulated 4,000 points of the Tau, and I was like doing a completely unproxied army, and I was just using what I had. And there's Alex. He shows up, and Alex had 2,000 points worth of Imperial Guard he could play.
Yes, but that wasn't the list he wanted to play.
But he brought, and at the time in Armageddon, you had access to these stratagems that weren't part of the regular game. And one of them was a Void Shield, which was like a token, right? Just a little token you put down. And anything within 6 inches of it got a 4+ or a 3+ invul. I think it was a 4+, right? So he takes these 2 Bane Blades. He doesn't own a Bane Blade. So he's got these 2 shoe boxes, which is mightier than a Land Raider, let's be clear. He's got these 2 shoe boxes and a poker chip that's the Void Shield. And I'm sitting here with 4,000 points of unproxied Tau, dying to these shoe boxes in this multi-hour game. And I thought, what am I doing? This sucks so bad. I was so upset. I was so frustrated. But the idea that you could just pick and play anything you want, you know, and how many times did we use like Pepsi cans for
Drop pods.
drop pods, right? Or you know, upside down solo cups, which was awesome, right?
I mean, we were like, it's close enough to the same size.
It's close enough. But the idea that you could do that and encourage it, I had this idea that if you used a water bottle, you could use it as a water tower and it would like give you bonuses. And if you drank the water out of it, you would get less of a bonus. So like you'd have to bring full water bottles and not drink them or you were going to lose some.
That sounds like
super stupid.
Like you're playing unglued magic right now.
All right. But the idea that you
How
could
many
just
vowels are in the name of this card?
you could just take whatever, you know, Kleenex boxes for your buildings or whatever you want. You use whatever you have. Use whatever miniatures you've got. You can 3D print them. They can be pre-existing. You borrow them from your friends. You loved the idea of, what was that 40K or that fantasy game with the circles? Disc Wars.
Yes.
You've always talked about how much you love the idea of Disc Wars. And you could just as easily take any material you want, cardboard or paper or, you know, construction paper or whatever the hell, you know, and make little discs and write whatever in the same way that you would with, you know, an old school miniature game. You know, the old school war games, they were just little pieces of square cardboard with numbers on them and letters. You're like, this is a finished tank. You know, it can move this or whatever.
What is that? That's a number 4. Yeah, that's your finished tank.
Right.
Okay.
Right. They'd have like all these different numbers and stuff. And you could easily just do something like that. And you just make whatever you want, use whatever tools you want. And the idea is to have fun, right? And that's the problem. And let's go back to what we were talking about with collecting value, right? We want things that we do to have value. But what's more important with the games is having fun. And we lose sight of that in the cost, right?
Yes.
It starts to become like a status symbol. It's like, it's a flex, you know? It's like, look at my... There's fucking Logan Paul with his chain with the Pokemon thing.
Illustrator
Look at my
Pikachu.
Pokemon thing. You know, and it becomes a flex,
Which
right?
wasn't even a 10. But
Right.
Anyways, keep going.
No, that's fine. But then you look at games like Gaslands, and that's really like the core of what I look at when I'm thinking of Tempus Bellum, is this idea that you have something that has a rule book, you have a system that is unique unto itself, right? That's distinct, but the cost to entry is almost nothing. And, you know, you can form something that allows you to play it. You can create a community for people, for them to be able to, you know, find ways to help it grow organically. And, you know, you find ways to supplement that in different ways of creating support, which is what the Patreon ideally is going to be. And this will, you know, this will all feed into that eventually as sort of a cross promotion, right? Where what I want is for people to be able to look at the concept, say, I like the idea of something that is this user friendly, you know, that's trying to cater to me as a gamer, because that's what I want, right? So you got to be what you want others to be, right? That's not just like the golden rule of do unto others. You know, that's the core of really good capitalism too, is you find a blind spot in the market, and not even a blind spot, maybe you're creating a spot, right? But you find a mechanism that you could see working for you, and then you create that. And if it works for you, and you know yourself better than anybody, inevitably it's going to work for somebody else too.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't have to be, you know, this is my get rich scheme. This is my self-help guide. We're gonna,
Some people joke around but stuff like this, but they say that's my son's retirement right there. You see that booster box? That's my son's, you know, his retirement right there.
It would be if you didn't cash it out.
Yeah, I needed to cash out that tag team because I needed to get that Destined Rivals or whatever.
It's possible.
I don't know. That was a bad example. But
Well, with Pokemon, I think there's so much. There, and I was talking to you about this the other day. If you don't have people that personally value it, if you just have people that are buying into it as something that's going to be worth money later, there's not going to be a demand for it later.
And that is where I made a video, and actually got picked up by a YouTuber or two.
You stealing my ideas for your videos?
You stole my idea. I did it. No, I'm just kidding.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, empty cheers. um, it was talking about how people can set a price, and in the end, you're just holding cardboard or you're just holding resin.
Right.
It's not a need. It's not a necessity. I don't need your card. So if you come up and tell me that this card is, or this miniature is $1,000, I'll look at you and go, nice.
Right.
Well, that's a flex. Okay, I see it's a flex. Good job.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? And then it's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
okay, I wish I had that. Well, do you want to buy it? I'll give you a good price. And how many times do you say that to somebody and they go, no, I'm good? It's because they don't really want it that bad.
Yeah, well, and I don't know. Part of it is too, like, I hate
And the best way to
feel like I'm taking a loss on things. And I
that
don't
too,
know.
the haggling.
Well, and I'm such a strong haggler because of what I do, and that it's like it's a balance of wanting to be like cool with my friends too. Like I don't want to be that guy. I'm not trying to like work somebody over, right? But I also want to be able to stand my ground. I don't want to feel like I'm getting worked over. So, like I was going to sell those Tau, and I thought that could be really cool. You know, let's flip some of this. It's just sitting around. But I just don't want to get nickeled and dimed on it. And the truth is I like being able to like pull that stuff and play it one day, maybe, eventually.
That's why, like, with Tempus Bellum, it's about having fun, use your imagination.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, it's affordable that way, which the way that the economy is going is getting harder and harder. And then you got the people online that are relying on you to buy.
Yeah.
That are spinning it to where it's addicting, and you probably feel that way or less when you get it. I liked Kaio because the cards are beautiful, quality is great, and it's not expensive.
Sure.
And their slogan is for the fans, for the super fans or whatever. And I was like, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Inuyasha trading cards. I got it. They're phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah.
They were fun. I opened it up. Sweet. Got Sesshomaru. I was happy.
Sure, sure.
As long as I got Sesshomaru, I didn't care. Naruto, whatever. Tempus Bellum, you're going to be able to play pretty much any army that you want, I think, once you roll it out, right?
Yeah, I mean, the goal is just like, whatever you got, you 3D print it, you got things that you've had previously. I mean, this is why I always go back to, which is, I really love the miniatures that we got from Firestorm Planetfall.
Yes.
And I love that not necessarily that scale, but it reminded me of Epic, which I had missed out on, and it seemed really cool, right?
Yeah.
And
I
so
wanted to play Epic.
we had both, all of us in the group had collected these miniatures, and we tried to play the system, and A, the game system kind of sucked, and B, it immediately lost support. And, Spartans got licensed to Halo, and they were contractually obligated to keep producing those miniatures, and they weren't selling, and it bankrupted them. And now the system's dead, right? And not even Planetfall, or not even Firestorm Armada, which was the better system and probably their most successful one. Maybe Dystopian Wars.
I was going to say Dystopian
Since
Wars.
Dystopian Wars
Dystopian Legions was
seen,
pretty popular too.
Brought back to life. That's true. But, none of those have really been brought back. And so I wanted something that we could play that with. And I just had this idea of taking, like, Flames of War miniatures and those miniatures. And, you flesh out different rules for it. And you just pit them against each other because that's what you got. And maybe you want to 3D print some stuff. You find some things online. You do that. Maybe you just got some Green Army Men. Maybe you just buy a bag of $5 Green Army Men from Dollar Tree or whatever it is, however much that is from, your local Walmart.
You want to play World War II.
And you have a system
soldiers.
that you can do that if you want. And you can pit them against anything. And ideally, you're going to stay like within the same scale, right? It's like 15 miniature, 28 millimeter,
And you start, and the way that we started this off was it's your game.
Yeah.
But I threw in a couple parts.
The vision.
The vision.
The vision of sitting around at my house. And here's what it was, too. Is I was sitting around my house in COVID, and they were like, if you smoke, you're going to die. So I was like, all right, I'm going to quit smoking. And I didn't smoke for like 5 weeks during that time, really.
No way.
And, well, not cigarettes, and I just had
I believe it.
I had so much free time where I'm just sitting there and I'm just thinking, and I had this vision of rolling a D100 and targeting, right? That's like the core of this, which as I've developed it has been kind of like what's referred to in my mind as the targeting strike chart, right? But we'll probably call it something more simple. But you have your targeting chart, and I remember talking about wanting to do like a mech game. I was like, I'm going to do a mech game, and it's going to have a grid system, and there's going to be like elevation. I want it to be like Armored Core, and I had this idea for this D100 targeting system that would have like terrain. And when it really boiled down to it, it didn't quite seem like it was going to be feasible, right? It was way too niche. I was going to have to design these cards and it was going to be like you have all these different pieces of your mech, and you're like dodging and like rolling dice, and it was so complicated and convoluted and was going to require all these different peripherals to manufacture that I knew I wouldn't be able to. I was like, no, this isn't going to work. And I used to love this idea, I wanted to like make video games, right? Video games are a lot of work. I wanted to make movies. Here we are doing a little bit of something. Movies are a lot of work. I thought the easiest way to do it is to write something. You can take
anything.
Any story you want and put it, letter to page and have it come to fruition. You don't have to film it. You can just use your imagination and write it. This is the same kind of thing, right? I don't want to have a bunch of peripherals I manufacture. I don't want to have a bunch of accessories I have to do. But if I can write the rules for it, find a way to make it accessible, maybe there'll be a market for it, right? Maybe there'll be an interest in it. And when you really think about it, it's like anybody that's like into miniature games has stuff, even if the game system's supported, they've got stuff that looks really cool that sucks in the fucking game, and they want to be able to play it, right?
Or the game just doesn't support it anymore.
Well,
they locked it away.
Yes. And there's right, it pushed to Legends, right? Maybe the game's supported, but the miniature isn't. Totally. Yeah. A lot of virtual stuff. And so you can just do really cool, figure out whatever you want. There's a lot to be balanced, and I've got the core of it, and the core is going to be pretty widely accessible on Patreon, if not immediately in the very near future. A couple of the things I want to do, because you talked about like faction focused stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Like having flavor, and that's what I keep going back to in my mind is I want to have some flavor, right? If it's so generic, it's ubiquitous and identical, right? If it's identical from one faction to the other, it's going to be boring.
Yeah.
Now, there's a strength in the similarities that we see in bolt action, where a lot of the like core rules for the different units are almost the same, right? Infantry is infantry, et cetera, et cetera. And you have like things that are experienced or not, but maybe the weapon varies, but the overall template for what the thing is from one to the other is basically the same. There's a strength to that.
Yeah.
But there's still flavor behind each faction, and if there wasn't, it would kind of suck.
It would.
So, that's really what I'm going to need to, is to flesh out more of like the different faction focuses. And so, let's kind of talk about that. We've kind of talked about different like time settings, right, as like sort of the factions.
Yep.
Right? So I think that's like a big part of it. And I don't know exactly how to implement that in rules exactly.
We bounced around ideas.
We have
a lot of times, and I know a lot of it is like, see, I come up with stuff off the top of my head.
Sure.
But I have memory issues that's like I forget. But
I'm not trying to put you on the spot, because I don't remember either, dude.
No, it's okay. I remember with us having time casters. So you would have your wizard, and your wizard would have the time abilities as like a spell book.
Right.
And so like your wizard, or whoever it is that's gifted with the time wielding abilities, we could have it that way, where it's like, because you're not going to have wizards in sci-fi, but you might have like some type of people that can wield technology in a way that very few people can, and they can control the time.
Sure.
I'm getting that from some animes that I've watched recently, and it's a great idea.
Yeah.
But during your turn, they could then cast like.
I'm just
fast
picturing
forward.
someone's time wizard is a DeLorean.
It's a DeLorean. It goes back in time. Yes, yes.
anyway.
A DeLorean or the Terminator.
Oh yeah.
Have the Terminator. So no, there was like spells where you can
Just the Judiciar from 40K with his hourglass thing.
fast forward time, so you can give something double speed. You can slow down time. You can target an enemy unit, have their speed. You can open up a portal to a different time. Maybe it's going to be a hard spell to cast, but when you do it, then like something random from a random chart can come through, like a dinosaur, and you're fighting in like sci-fi or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Warhammer 40K, then a dinosaur comes out and starts rampaging through like a squig-off.
Pretty much,
You know,
yeah.
and it's like that type of chaos would maybe be fun. It could be a certain play style, or not play style, but it could be a certain mission type that if you want to do. It doesn't have to be a core rule, but I think it would. The way that the game
No, I
could
think
be,
it'll
it
be
would,
a vital expansion or something.
There was also talks about it being a Time Lord. He's the one that like zaps all your armies in here for his own personal amusement, and you have to like do things to appease him, and then when he appeases, he's pleased or whatever, he gifts you and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's kind of a cool system. And you know, when we were talking about that, it reminded me of like it wasn't Blitzball. Was it Blitzball?
No, Dreadball.
Dreadball.
Because
they had that system that was like
like a guy pops out of the crowd and shoots your guy or something.
Yeah, it had like the crowd system, right? Which was sort of a balanced system. So like if you were doing really well or not, maybe it would give you kind of an edge to balance it.
Yeah, that was back when you were playing teams that were basically in prisons. They were in certain prisons, and whatever prison it was basically your army rules. Yeah, they were criminals.
Right.
It was for
I
a
keep thinking of
subtype of
Blood Bowl. So yeah.
Well, Dreadball was Blood Bowl in the future, basically, is what it is.
Yeah.
But then they came out with Dreadball Renegades or something, where it's people in prison.
And that was
and
Mantic,
that's where they
right?
That was where the people in the crowd could be like hired hitmen. They pop up and they shoot one of your players, and you're down a player.
You know what we should have played though is Rumble Slam. Rumble Slam always looked fun.
I would have loved it. I'm always.
I mean,
down.
it's
I
still
love
supported,
wrestling.
but
I love wrestling.
I think it's by that. I want to say it's made by that UK company that I was buying terrain from. I can't remember now.
You know,
I'd have to look.
This is a thing that I realized as I got older. I've become more of a role-playing gamer than I was back when I was first getting into 40K, where it was all about like Command and Conquer and mass battles, squads and stuff like that. Now that I've gotten older, it's like I just want to focus on the soldiers. I want to focus on the man themselves, basically. That's why I think I gravitated to Malifaux. Rumble Slam would be pretty fun.
More of a skirmish
Games.
And we were talking about trying to make, Tempus Bellum more of like a skirmish game at one point. And I think it would be good to have support elements for that. And realistically, too, I mean, you could play it at whatever scale you wanted. You just have fewer miniatures, and that's just the choice you make. Or maybe that's a decision you make between you and your opponent. But.
Or you can have a mode called like Champion, and it's like everybody gets one soldier. You kit them out to the certain points that you want, and then you lay the miniature down and you fight in an arena.
That would be interesting.
It would be yeah, exactly. It would be interesting.
Have you seen some of the stuff from Kill Team recently? So like,
no, I have not.
I know. So I had bought this set that was with the Vespid, right? Because it came with terrain, it came with some Vespid, it came with some Imperial Guard.
Yeah. And
there were some rules in it for like a cooperative mission. And after that, they released a set that was for the Red Terror. Do you know what the Red Terror is? It's
Isn't that a Carnifex or something?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's a Tyrannid. That's like it's kind of like a big tapeworm or something. But it's pretty scary.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Old One Eye.
They got you are. They got a new kit that had miniature for that, and it was kind of set up in a system where you would, I think, have like a co-op setting where you would be fighting that thing. And I want to say that new Eldar, and I don't know yet, but that new Eldar set with the Exodites with the Eldar riding dragon or dinosaurs and shit, I suspect, because it's like you get 3 Eldar on dinosaurs, and you get like 20 orcs with it. So it's like, okay, this seems like it's probably set up to where it's going to be like 2 kill teams fighting like an NPC thing, which is the Exodites, right?
Yeah.
So maybe having something like that, like you're saying, a champion mode where you're sort of, it's like you're all battling like a dinosaur or something.
Yeah, well, there's actually, if anybody's played Dawn of War 2, there was like an Eternal Warrior mode.
I was just thinking about that too,
And,
actually. I
and
don't
you got
remember
to-
very much about it, but I remember playing it as the Tau commander and really getting a kick.
Yeah, as you leveled up and stuff, you'd be able to kit out your guy the way that you want to. But basically, you guys were co-op against the AI.
Yeah.
But it's like, what happens if we take that? You just make it into a mode. Make the mode into like PvP with AI, with an AI compatibility, or like you can add it into it if you want.
Mm-hmm.
You could even make it into a campaign where you could give like, you get 2 XP if you do this, you get 1 XP if you do that, you cash in the XP, you're able to requisition a sword,
Yeah.
or a new spell or something like that, and you guys could keep on playing. Like, there's so many things that you could do with this, potentially with Tempus Bellum,
Yeah. Yeah.
that, the sky's the limit. It really is. With the way that you're building it, it really is. As long as, a lot of people like the role-playing system GURPS, which is a very adaptable
I don't know
role-playing
very
system.
much about that, but go on, and then I'm going to bring something else up too. And then
GURPS,
if you need to wrap this up, let me know. That's fine.
oh, you're fine. GURPS, I believe GURPS was like, was a general universal role-playing system.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's what it stood for. And it was literally, you could role-play anything with the GURPS system.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of it, was like, you can't find a role-playing, you want to play like Terminator?
Yeah.
You could do it with GURPS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just, here you go, here's the book, chart out your campaign,
Mm-hmm.
boom, there you go. And that's kind of like what it sounds like you could do with Tempus Bellum. No matter
Pretty
what
much.
kind of miniatures that you got, you still want to play your legacy army that got shelled by Games Workshop.
Right.
You
Yeah. Time
you
to
could
whip out the Tomb Kings.
you could potentially build the Tomb Kings as close as you can,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got the Tomb Kings going up against World War II tanks
Right.
or something, and it's.
Yeah.
It then reminds me of, like, with Gaslands, I wanted to play the cops because I thought of Judge Dredd.
Oh yeah.
And I kept screaming, I am the law, even though that I wasn't doing very good.
Oh yeah.
I didn't care.
I was looking at that Judge Dredd game at that time.
Oh, yeah,
too,
there's Judge
and
Dredd.
it's like I don't want to get into another game.
There's
we're
so
not gonna
many
play,
games, right?
But
But that's where the Tempus Bellum idea is. I kind of want to double back to something earlier, because it dawned in my head. You were talking about, and I just want to mention it.
yeah, it's
Trading
fine.
card game mechanics that I actually like.
Oh yeah, that
And
was 40 minutes ago.
That was 40 minutes ago. I know. It's just real quick. I want to mention it.
No, it's fine.
Health systems.
Okay.
I like certain games that don't utilize a health system because it's so overdone every single time. You expect to have, it's like something like, that you need to know is like, what's my life total? It's 40. Okay, I could take 40. You've got Pokemon that's got prize cards. You've got Card Fight Vanguard, which is kind of the same thing. But I was going to get at,
Well, we could play War, where we just flip the top card until somebody's out of cards.
well, this is going to tie into, because I do Kaio cards on my channel, and this is very kiddish, but the My Little Pony cards has a really good idea, and that's with scenes from a show. So it's scenes from an episode. And first one to reach the final scene of their episode wins. I know it sounds stupid, but
I'm
we
gonna
might-
I'm just trying to stay engaged here. Keep going.
I'm just going to say,
You're fine.
I'm a very role-playing person. I like to be immersed into it, and I think that mechanic, like let's say you're playing a card game and you're able to have a deck of Cowboy Bebop, your scene could be from an episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah, we're great. Thank you though. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Get this out of the way.
Oh, no worries.
Any favorites out of the bunch?
2 and 3 were the best, I think, but they were all good.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. But anyways, I'm talking about the mechanic. I know right when I say the pony, it's a shutoff. But
it is.
the
It is
mechanic,
for me, but only because
the mechanic of episodes, I think is really great. You could do so much with that. It's stages. I think that's great.
Well, one of the things I was thinking, because like going back and talking about 40K, right? Like when you first got into 40K, you talk about like playing Chaos, right?
Yeah, I've played so many.
And the amount of like role-playing aspects there were in the game at the time.
Yes.
How so much of that has been eroded
Yep.
out of the systems, and how much you miss that.
Yes,
Now,
third edition was the best.
I
believe it was
haven't always had the opportunity to connect with that. But you look at things like Crusade or these different modes, and I crave it. It's just they're poorly designed. So not only do I want to have some sort of a... Because right now there's no system for HQs or commanders that I've designed. Right? You have no leader in the armies for the current system for Tempus Bellum. So I want to have some sort of a commander that you choose that's your leader, and maybe that'll be your time mage. Maybe we as the players will be the time mages. I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe you could have a unit that's immune to time.
I don't want to forget things.
There's so many things.
Which I've already forgotten what I was saying. So you've got that as the time mages. I want the factions, right? So I want to design aspects for leaders, factions, and then what we were just talking about, which is the role-playing part, which is I don't know if it's going to be like a leveling system or just like a customization system that's going to be more in-depth based on like character faction design. But I feel like I need more things there that allow us to specialize directly into whatever the proximity of the given miniature is, whatever the aesthetic is. We want to be able to let our players match that accordingly. And so I'm trying to keep those things in mind. You're thinking something, though.
Oh, I've already got it.
Yeah.
I've got quite a bit here. So alignment.
Okay.
Time setting.
Okay.
So factions could be time settings.
Okay.
Your army would be the sub-faction.
Okay.
And then your equipment that you add could be keyword specific. So you can have future good, let's say rich or something like that. They can afford like this marksman rifle that's got the scope or whatever that's expensive. They can have access to that.
I see what you're saying. And, when you say that, it makes me think of, like, the Star Wars system, right? Where you've got these cards, and they have pips, and you've got things that kind of overlap, and it'll create a balance to it where some things will have access to these things, some won't, and that's kind of how you make sure somebody's not just doing everything.
And
I see where you're coming from there.
You could be like, I'm going to play
I don't know if I'm clever enough to do that yet, but I like where your head's at with it.
You could be like, well, it's starting small, right? So, like, if we play... Like, what would be your first two factions that you would make?
Well, I mean, this is kind of where I was at, where you're talking about like the time setting, right? Because what we need is we don't want specific factions. I mean, I always joke, I'm like, I want to see Abe Lincoln riding a dinosaur fighting Napoleon, leading zombies.
Yeah.
The factions don't have to be Abe Lincoln with dinosaurs. It's going to be like, what's the setting? Is it? And you were like past, future.
Let's say I want to play my bolt action units.
Right.
So let's say I want to play my Italians. I would say that it's, we'll consider a modern setting.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And let's say whatever it is, right?
Whatever.
Historic. Yeah. I guess it's not like in ancient past. So
it's not. So it'd be considered, I think would be considered modern.
We'll call it, modern or contemporary or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in contemporary setting.
So you have those choices, and then it's, like you said, you could have like different alignments of like, kind of like D&D style, right? Where you're making choices. And I don't necessarily want to like lock equipment behind it, although we could, and bolt action does in some degrees, and I think that's perfectly fine. But I just want it to have flavor. I just want it to be like, okay, so I'm going to, I'm like future chaos, right? And And that's going to be what you're going to choose when you're epitomizing your Warhammer 40K Chaos faction.
I think what I'm talking
And
about
I want
is like specified.
I want flavored rules that allow it to, when we pick those factions, to have elements of whatever that is to give it that flavor. And I don't want it to be locked behind it where it's like, well, I'm playing Chaos, so I have to pick that. Give some variation, I suppose. But
well, this isn't locking you into Chaos. It would
No, I'm
lock
not
you
saying
into
that.
a type
I'm
of
just saying.
warrior. Yeah, okay. So I guess where I'm looking at it as is like, if let's say I want to play a Knights Templar army.
okay, yeah.
Now, for the best kit, the best sword would be like a heretic sword or something. This is a hypothetical.
Sure.
It does, like the bonuses and stuff, I sit there and go, that's what I want. Well, if I'm playing a Knights Templar,
Yeah.
I can't, it's not going to work for me because of keywords. I'm not going to be able to match my keywords to it, so then I can't take a heretic sword to my Crusader.
Yeah.
And this is just, then it just goes down to, are you playing, this is where it's like, it could get muddied up. But I was just thinking, like, because every miniature game, you always find equipment that's awesome to put on a character. It's named, it's got history or whatever, people want to make it up. That's why I think if if you're playing World War II or something like that, like, look at war now. There's inhumane weapons, and then there's war legal weapons, right? There's weapons that are not.
Yeah, but that doesn't... What I need to think about is the balance of the game, right? And what I worry about... And this goes back to, like, what we were talking about with, like, Sneak and things with Magic, right? Where stuff gets locked behind a certain, like, set, right? What I worry about is if... It's maybe twofold, right? First of which is putting a lot of, like, energy into parts of the game design that we're locking people out of, right? That's like, okay, here's all these rules, but you're only going to be allowed to utilize 10% of them because, the other 90% of them are locked behind things that you don't qualify for, right? And then when you do that, it creates the opportunity for imbalance where, well, okay, so, and this is what I ran into with that game that me and Alex played, that he was really into, that Genesis game.
Yeah, I never got to play that. I wish I did.
Where we're like customizing things, and here I am building it like, and this is very indicative of the problems that I worry Tempus Bellum's going to have. Here I am with these cow miniatures from that Monkey King game.
Yeah, the Monkey King game.
That Monkey King game, whatever it was called. It'll be in the comments. That Monkey King game, and I was like, I just want to use these cows, and so I go and I build my faction based on how these miniatures look. I'm like, oh, they got hooves, and so they're gonna stomp, they're gonna do all these cow things. I give them horns. I'm having fun with it, and I play Alex's faction. He's using his Tyranids. He's like, oh, I made these dragons, and his toughness and armor was so strong, and he was so overpowered that he was wounding me and hitting me and wounding me on 2s with everything, and I was hitting and wounding me on 6s. And I would need to roll a 6 on a 6 to do damage. And that's not what I want. I don't want people to feel like they have to, where it's like, all right, well, here's this really good weapon that I made for thematic reasons because I thought it was cool. Here's this Crusader sword that's like a heretic sword, and it's like, oh, I'm going to model after this thing that maybe it's historic or maybe it's from like a pop culture thing, and I put a lot of love into this design, right, of this thing. I almost over specialize it to the point where it becomes so good that if you're not playing that faction with that thing, you're fucked. And that's what I worry about for balancing, and it's part of why I want to kind of keep it simple-ish, especially to start. And we'll keep it as a simple, I want to start it as a simple enough template, get feedback from whatever community we can cultivate, hopefully get you and Alex to play test it some too, and just see where it kind of sucks, right? It's like, where is it unfun and why?
I think that's where it takes, like, not to think too far into that it's going to overpower something, and then just, like you said, kind of play with it. So, like, example.
I guess you're right. That is true. You gotta start with the fun and flavor, and then you can balance it.
So here's an example. We're both playing bolt action miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing a good side, or you're playing a good side. I'm playing a bad side.
Mm-hmm.
because of the certain tags or whatever I pick, I have access to like mustard gas or something.
Think of it like Gaslands. What was building in Gaslands like?
I don't even remember because it's been a while.
You had different cars, right?
Yeah.
They would have slots. They would have HP. They would have costs. And then you'd all have a variety of weapons that you could choose to put on there.
Okay.
And then depending on like the faction, whether it was like there was that one like Russian one that was like,
oh, I don't remember.
Oh, I don't remember. It was like Chutzpah or something. That's not the right word.
Oh,
obviously.
yeah.
I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
But
all these different factions, and you'd have like flavor within those, and you could like make choices that would lean into that. But for the most part, like the vehicles you had access to and the weapons you had access to were pretty much universal.
Right.
And that's kind of what I want to start with, but it would be fun to have like relics, I guess.
That's what I'm meaning. So let's say that's a relic
Sure.
that enables an ability that if like, let's say you had an ability that you could call in an artillery bombardment. I'm thinking way off the line.
No, that's
Let's
cool.
say-
That's actually a great example.
So
I think that's cool.
you're able to give it mustard gas, and we could say that it gives them poison.
Sure.
That's all it does.
Sure.
It gives them poison, but for the flavor, because your guys didn't abide by the rules of war or whatever, you use mustard gas.
Sure.
You're on the good side. You don't have access to that because of how you built your army, and you wouldn't. So then your army wouldn't take it. You would just have probably have better targeting.
Yeah.
Right? You would have a trade-off to it. Like, he's doing damage over time, you're having better accuracy.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a little bit, but it's not enough that it's going to break the game. It's just a little bit different. So where it's like you can do stuff that's a check. So for like the mustard gas, it's like a check to see if they take a wound.
Yeah.
If they take a wound, then the counter stays. If they don't, then they're fine.
Like in bolt action, where if you're British, you get a free artillery observer. And if you're Italian, you die.
You played against me playing the most dumbest army ever.
What do you get? Oh, I get these barricades for free. Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's right, I got
and
barricades.
What else do you get? Well, when I'm losing, I lose really bad, and when I'm winning, I win really good.
Okay, come on. See, that's why I'm chaos. You became very, very effective, or you became like cowards, but you got free barricades, which was a very good hindrance against your opponent.
And then you would always take these green troops where you'd have to randomize their skill set.
Because of the point cost.
But I know, but like, because of the rules, like when you started losing, because you would get these guys that were crappy, it would make the whole rest of your army start to fail.
But you don't understand. For me, that was fun. I was the one getting stomped, but it was fun.
I get it.
I liked it.
So, but that's what I want to make sure that I'm able to account for. And look, the truth is, you just got to let the rubber hit the road. You know, the first car didn't go 100 miles an hour the first time. We just got to start, put some wheels on it, you know, put a road underneath it, and see what happens. So
Exactly.
but all right, so do us a solid. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about you to finish this out. Plug your channel or whatever. Not that this is much of an area to plug anything, but who are you? What do you do? What's your channel? How do you spell it?
My name is Zach. My channel is called Kayukura. That's Kayukura. Very unique name, I know, but my channel's about Kaio cards. Sometimes I'll sprinkle in other cards that I like because, like I said earlier, I'm a cardboard junkie. And I just love the cards. I love card art. Kaio's affordable, beautiful cards, beautiful quality. My daughter loves My Little Pony and Hatsune Miku.
And when he gets to 1 million subscribers, he's going to get a tattoo of one of those things that we don't know yet what it is. And it might not be on him, but somebody's going to get a tattoo somewhere.
Put a Rainbow Jash and Applejack. You know, we'll just have all the main six on me. We'll just put the main six on me, and then the Vocaloids, and we'll be all happy.
It might be 3D printed, but we're going to figure it out. It'll be fine.
It's one of those things that I don't know if people realize that I am serious about the cards, but I am. I love the cards. I love what they're doing so far.
Yeah.
I just wish that they bring more stuff from China over to here because it'd be even more fun. But I understand what's going on. But yeah, check out my channel. Almost at 6,000. We're getting there. We're at 5,800 right now, so
nice.
I appreciate it. And yeah,
Cool. Well, thanks for hanging out. It was fun. Watching me eat pizza, getting beer. This is good. We'll have to do it again.
I gotta stop at McDonald's though because I am starving now after
my-
watching
It's all about Burgerville here.
Burger. Oh hell
Burgerville.
no! Burgerville's so
Burgerville.
overpriced.
It's so good.
So overpriced.
McDonald's sucks.
Dude, I went there to go get fish and chips for Brandy one day, and they didn't even give me tartar sauce for free. I had to go back and ask for it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's fish and chips. I should have tartar sauce given to me.
It's gonna
no?
be 50 cents, sir.
Yep, it's gonna be 50 cents. That's what they charged me, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? I just paid $15 for a combo of fish and chips. It ain't even for me. It's for my wife." I did it.
God, what was it I was watching? All right, we're supposed to wrap this up, but
It doesn't matter.
This
This
is bonus round.
I was gonna say this is bonus content.
Oh, look, you can actually see the mic, so it is picking stuff up.
Is it?
Yeah, see, it's like a
Oh,
green little.
yeah.
Ah, cool.
Oh.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I was watching this Hunter S. Thompson documentary. I don't know if you know who Hunter S. Thompson is. He wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He was like
Oh, yeah.
a known freak. And
Yeah.
I was watching this documentary, and it was like from the 70s, and it was showing this guy getting on the airplane, Ralph Steadman, who was his artist that ran around with him while he was all crazy. You can be my Ralph Steadman.
There we go. I'm
And-
crazy.
No, Hunter was crazy. Ralph was normal, and well, relatively. And they were talking about how they were serving these nickel beers on the airplane. I just thought, man, we are so far from that.
Yeah.
We are so far from that.
I
Like
made the comment.
100% difference.
I made the comment that I'm basically turning into that person that that says, "I remember when burgers were a nickel," and I had a coworker tell me, "I am that person because I remember when burgers were a nickel."
Right? My dad always says that. He's like, "Oh, I used to be able to get a cheeseburger for 5 cents or